Apartment 7A is the prequel to the 1968 classic Rosemary's Baby. I love Rosemary's Baby, so I was kind of curious to check out Apartment 7A. I did have some reservations though because this is a streaming movie, and streaming movies most of the time are not good. So, anyways, Apartment 7A. It's produced by Natalie Erica James. It stars Julia Garner, and it tells the story of a struggling dancer who moves into this seemingly charming New York apartment. And there's an old couple there. They promise her fame, but they're hiding some sinister secrets. There we go. Apartment 7A. What can I say about Rosemary's Baby? No, fuck. I mean, you could call this Rosemary's Baby, but it's called Apartment 7A. Anyways, what did I think of this movie? Although it is better than average for a streaming movie, because there are some great things I could say about this movie. This movie was very mediocre. Okay, let's get the positives out of the way. The production design and the cinematography are great. This is a great looking movie. You would think that because it's like a theatrically released look, it's like the look of this movie would have been great in a theater because man, the cinematography is gorgeous, the production design is fantastic. There's nothing bad I could say about that. And the performances are excellent too. Julia Garner gives a great performance. I loved her in this movie. She was definitely acting her ass off here. And there's some good atmosphere in this movie too. It's got like a nice, like atmospheric, spooky vibe to it. Kind of similar to what Rosemary's Baby had. Except this movie has a more modern feel, obviously, because Rosemary's Baby came out 56 years ago. That's about it for positives. The main problem with this movie, this is the biggest problem it has. It just feels like a remake. It doesn't feel like a prequel. Like the movie's plot is definitely telling you that it's a prequel, but it just feels like a remake. It's pretty much the same fucking thing as Rosemary's Baby. It doesn't really have a creative, imaginative bone in its body. It doesn't feel original. This movie doesn't really feel like its own thing. And that aspect of the movie was very disappointing. And plus, John Krasinski produced this movie. John Krasinski and Michael Bay, they produced this movie. And they were a good team up for the Quiet Place movies, because all three Quiet Place movies were really good. But yeah, just because they produce some good things, that doesn't mean they'll always produce good things. Now, I'm not saying this movie's horrible. It's not. It's very competent, and you could definitely tell there was some motivation to make this movie. Like there's effort put into it, but when it comes to the story and the characters, not really. That's where this movie falters. It's just the story feels been there, done that. The characters aren't that interesting, but the performances do help. So, can I say that I would recommend Apartment 7A? If you really want to see it, sure. There's far worse ways to spend your time. There's far worse movies out there this year that came out. But if you're a fan of Rosemary's Baby and you want to, be invested in a new chapter for Rosemary's Baby, this is not it for you. In that regard, I cannot recommend this movie. But for a streaming movie, it's definitely better than average. There's other streaming movies that came out this year, like Rebel Moon Part 2. It's definitely not on that level. That's for damn sure. I can assure you on that. But yeah, Apartment 7A, it's just a mediocre movie. Whatever, it was like just under 2 hours, so there's that. Just, if you really want to watch it, go ahead, but otherwise, I would skip it. I am going to give Apartment 7A a C.